They see me mowing up alone, and all white and nerdy. Think I'm just too white and nerdy. Think I'm just too white and nerdy. Ah, such a great song about being a nerd. But could being a nerd be a bad thing? How's it going, guys? This is Arman239, and I do apologize for not uploading recently. I've been busy with school and all that, and now that it is finally summer vacation, I just got out of school today. Actually, today was my last day, and I'm hoping that I can start to upload more regularly now that I don't have to worry about studying or homework or anything like that. So, this is actually going to be another edition of the ChatterBox series, and this one is actually a top 5 one. It's sort of a countdown, and what this one is going to be is why nerds are the worst group to be around. Now, I know that some of my fans, some of my subscribers, do classify themselves as nerds. Now, I don't necessarily have a problem with all nerds. I guess this one is technically from my own personal experience with certain nerds, if you get what I'm saying. I've had sort of a bad run-in with a clique of nerds at my school. Now, you know how I am. I draw, I play video games. Of course, I was in the nerd clique in my school. But they fucking sucked. And this is actually gonna be a little more directed the group that I had experience with instead of all nerds. I know that all nerds aren't like this. And before we get started, I just want to say one thing. There is a difference between nerds and geeks. Alright? Nerds are the brainiacs. These are the ones that are top in the class. These are the ones that spend at least 3 hours or more doing homework in one night, whereas geeks are more on the cultural side of it. What they like, their personalities, their likes, their hobbies reflect more as a geek. Geeks are the ones that play video games. They're the ones that read comic books, you know, all of that. So, I wanted to get that out of the way. So if you're sitting there, you're like, well, I mean, I play video games and I read comic books, and I also want to go to Comic-Con. Are you saying that I'm a terrible person? No. These are nerds. The brainiacs. Alright, now let's get started with Numero 5. They have no culture. These are the kids that listen to Mozart most of the time when they're doing homework and stuff. Now, they don't really have like a favorite movie, favorite TV show, favorite band. These are the kids that just do homework, go to school, repeat. Basically, that's all that they do. And at most, they will listen to Mozart for entertainment. Or watch, I don't know, silent movies, if anything. Number 4. They think that they're better than everyone else. They think that brains overbeat brawn and anything else in that matter. And this can actually reflect on a kid who's with that group, but isn't necessarily one of them. But it never does. They think that brains are the only thing that can improve anything in the world, so they think that if you're not smart, if you're not a nerd, then you're below them, basically. And this can affect people. Like, they think that jocks are the biggest airheads that they'll ever meet. They just sit there saying like, oh, you're a fucking idiot. Number 3, they're all liberals. These are the kids that don't like Trump. They like Bernie. They like communism, pretty much. They like socialism. Starbucks. And this is hard for a kid like me, because, I mean, you've seen from my older videos, I am a conservative kid. I like Trump. I do. And this has gotten me a lot of fucking backlash hanging out with that group. And I actually have one specific story in mind for this situation. I was sitting there with the nerds at lunch, you know, eating my sandwich, my pubbage sandwich. And I was talking about a video from H3H3 where Ethan did a review on Zarna Joshi, just the best feminist of all time. And he was going through and he was like, you know, she's trying to make all these points. She's freaking referencing WikiHow as her websites, as her sources. And then he said, WikiHow these nuts? Oh, sorry for the crassness. Hope I didn't just rape you. Because earlier in the video she talked about how, like, pretty much anything can be classified as rape if a woman feels uncomfortable sexually. That is that's rape anymore. If you ever do anything that involves sex or intimacy at all, and it makes a woman uncomfortable, you're a rapist. Yep, you should be charged a fine for sexual harassment, sexual embarrassment, and rape. That is how it is. And I told my friend about this, because I thought that WikiHow these nuts, oh, sorry for the crassness, hope I didn't just rape you, I thought that was pretty fucking funny. Now, if you can't tell already, I'm not that politically correct. I'm really not. In fact, some of the people that I look up to the most would be Gavin McInnes and Milo Yiannopoulos. And I told my friend this story. Now, I have one friend who's more of a geek than a nerd, but he hangs out with the nerds. And one of them that got so fucking pissed at me, just, that's not funny. It's like, it's kind of funny, who cares? It's just a joke, and it's not like he was wrong about anything that he was saying in that situation. Now, my second one, this sort of tags along with the last one. They're all atheists, too. These are the kids that are Darwinists, if anything. They need fact to back up everything that they have, because faith is just a load of bullshit to them, and you need to see it to believe it. Now, I know that I made a video a while back talking about how I was now an agnostic, but I'm an emotional teenager that changes his mind all the time. And I have come to terms with the fact that being an agnostic fucking sucks, because I was more miserable as an agnostic than I was as a Christian. Then once I joined the church again, I was happier, way happier than before. And so yeah, I am now a Christian again, and I honestly don't expect it to change anytime soon. And it's hard being a young Christian around a couple of Darwinist atheists and agnostics like that, because I'm an easily influenced kid, and like, I like to be around people that are into my interests and sort of have the same beliefs as me, because I feel like that can help me thrive even more, instead of pushing my religion down into the ground, which is kind of what happened after a while. Hanging out with that group, seeing like their points for everything like that, I sort of was just like, what if it's true? What if there is no God? I need a Starbucks. And finally, number one on our list, they're hypocrites. Really, they are. Here's the way that it works with the nerds. They think this sort of fits in with they think that they're better than everyone else, and this is a reason why. They are the kids that are like, you know, if there's ever an outcast at the school, we're willing to take him in. We're willing to take in anybody that isn't really liked by other people, because we're willing to help people have some friends. And while they do that, instead of bringing in people from other groups, per se, they judge them. They just sit there and judge them, and then they get mad at those groups for judging other people, which is exactly what they're doing. Now, if you don't understand what I'm saying, I'll give you a scenario. You got a new kid, pretty socially awkward, you know, new to town, doesn't really know a lot of people, so he's just like sits in the corner and is just like. And so what the nerd group does is they're like, you know what, this kid looks lonely. I think we're gonna let him sit over by us, you know, give him some friends. And then they're like, hey man, you know, if you ever need a friend to talk to or you ever want to hang out, you know, hit us up. And so let's say the next day a jock sees what they're doing and he's like, I kinda like that. That's a nice thing. I think I might go sit by them. And so then the jock sits by them and they treat him like shit for being a jock. Because jocks, all that they do is judge people. Even though that's exactly what they're fucking doing to the jock. And I've seen this happen. They've told me straight up. Ugh, okay. Well, that is that. Nerds fucking suck. Geeks, I love. I am a geek. You know, mostly because I don't have a lot of brains. But I love video games, I love comic books, all that stuff. I draw. That's what I do. I'm into dank memes. I can't believe I just fucking said that. But, basically, if there is any group that you need to avoid in your school, it is the nerds. Because at least with jocks, they're just sitting there. It might be the same for jocks, just as a parallel to being, like, fit. But at least the jocks have some respect for brains instead of other things. And at least some jocks are good Christian people. Some of them are conservative. I'm not saying it's bad to be an atheist or liberal. I really don't give a fuck. But when you try to put your ideas out on me, even when you know that I'm a Christian, conservative, I don't really like that. Alright? I don't try to influence what you do, so don't influence what I do. Oh no. Like I said, it's because they think they're always right. So they're allowed to influence other people's lives. Okay. I hope you enjoyed this edition of the ChatterBox. Comment down below if there are some other videos that you would like me to do, or some other things in the ChatterBox that you would like me to do. Like the video, and subscribe to my channel for, hopefully, weekly content. It might change every now and then. But, I will see you guys later. Bye.
Crab, 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 crabby, crabby, unfair. Mr. Krabs is in there, standing at the concession, plotting his oppression. Mr. Krabs is unfair.
I want me to die too.